are in Khajuraho to visit all its tourist places. Around 22 temples. जैन भगवान है। Please. What you see in front is a Nandi temple. Deviyor Sajno, ladies and gentlemen, hi, hello, halayo, hi, hello, Kemcho, Kamba Gadisa, Sasriyakal, Adab, Namaskaram, Vanakkam. You are watching Voyager Vara. Let's explore Khajuraho and all its tourist places. Not just spiritual, but completely loaded with fun. Come, let's enjoy. So friends, let's start the episode 2 of the Khajuraho Western temples. Has actually 12, but here in the second episode, we are covering 5 temples only. That is the Kandariya Mahadev Mandir, Jagdambi Mandir, Chitragupta Temple, Vishwanath Temple, and the popular Nandi Mandir. Khajuraho is a World Heritage Monument, my dear friends. Friends, Khajuraho after Taj Mahal is the most frequently visited monument in India. Khajuraho is an unique example of Indo-Aryan architecture. It is well known all over the world for its temple architecture and exquisite sculptures. The temple was built between the 9th and 11th centuries by the warrior kings of the Chandela dynasty. It is believed that 85 temples were built, out of which 25 still remain in varying degrees of preservation. Entry ticket for adult is 40 rupees and for child it is 15 rupees, and you have to take this online and there is no booking counter there at the entrance, my dear friends. Khajuraho is a small village situated on the offshoots of Panna range and belongs to the Chhatarpur district of Madhya Pradesh in our rich country, my dear friends. In fact, by the 16th century, Khajuraho seems to have lost its importance, turning into an obscure village. It remained lost to the outside world until 1838, when the Britisher, Captain T.S. Burr, rediscovered these temples. Burr was on official duty but made a detour from his itinerary to follow the trail that his palki, the palanquin bearer, spoke of. He recorded that he had found what was probably the finest aggregate number of temples congregated in one place to be met in all of India and in the area within a stone throw of one another. He copied Dhangra's stone inscription dated AD 1002, which was lying loose in the Vishwanatha temple. The very name Khajuraho, according to Alexander Cunningham, has been derived from the word khajur, the date palm. Epigraphic records show that earlier Khajuraho was known as Khajur Vatika, which means garden of date palms, Date palm trees bearing dates once clustered around this royal ancient city during its heydays, the olden days. Although Captain Burr wrote that some of the sculptures as extremely indecent and offensive, his work opened Khajuraho to future generations. Years later, Cunningham visited this site and in his 1864 report counted 872 statues, out of which 646 were on the outside walls. Friends, here the temple's structure are almost in common. So the structure is generally in five parts, namely the Ardhamandap, Mandap, Antaral, Garbhagriha, and Mahamandap, together with Pradakshina path, that is the internal passage. Each of these parts have its own decorated artistic roof. Still, the peculiarity of these temples is that each temple is a compact architectural unit and not group of separate constructions or buildings. All these separate structures do not appear as independent structures. In Khajuraho, the temple architecture was a marvel of the perfectly evolved Nagara style in which the counterpointed melodies and architecture and sculpture were held in fine tuned complex balance. Kandariya Mahadev Mandir was built during the 1025 and 1050. It took 25 years to construct this temple, the gigantic and largest and loftiest and the finest among the existing Khajuraho temples, having a plinth area of 102 by 66 feet and at a height of 102 feet, my dear. Originally, Kandariya temple was a Panchayatan temple, but four subsidiary shrines at the four corners of the terrace do not exist now, unfortunately. The six main parts of the full fledged Khajuraho temple, that is the Ardhamandapa, Mandapa, Mahamandapa, Antarala, Garbhagriha, and Pradikshana path, are coordinated here into an integrated whole. This mighty temple is approached by the flight of stairs. 800 sculptures are carved on its interior and exterior walls. The sculptures on this temple are conspicuously slender and taller and show the richest variety of apsaras type in lively and often violently agitated postures. Apsaras in a variety of alluring positions are particularly notable for their slender form. The erotic sculptures are concentrated on the northern and southern facade in the juncture between the shrine and the main hall. Here you will find the carvings of warriors and hunters, acrobats, musicians, dancers, devotees, and amorous couple, the beautiful couple here. At the basement house figures the goddess carved almost all around the temple. Friends, the sculpture and architecture point of view, Kandariya is considered to be the best temple among the Khajuraho group of temples. It looks like a mountain of masonry with shikaras appearing like peak upon peak. The sculpture's fine skill and a sense of imagination have given form to human emotions in the form of spiritual and physical love. The graded hall roofs of the Shikara signify the mythical Mount Kailas and the Himalayas. The roof of each of these parts, designed as a mountain peak comprising of Amalaka and Kalas. Renu Rana Rana
re no dim dum da na da dim da na da dim dum da na da dim da na dim dum da na dim dum da na da dim da na o da ni da na di da na na o da ni da na di da na na da na da di na da dim dum da na da dim da na dim dum da na da dim da na dim dum da na da na dim da na da dim da na na da na dim da na da dim da na da na da di na da na da na dim da na da dim da na na da na da di na da na
At the entrance, the artistic arch, that is the Torana, is decorated with figures of deities, mithunas, musicians, makaras, etc. The ceiling of Ardha Mandapa and Mandapa are carved richly, while the ceiling of Mahamandapa is composed of concentric overlapping circles. The lintels of the sanctum and the durjams have rich floral carvings. The figures of Ganga and Yamuna on the respective Vahana, the Makara, which is the crocodile, and Kurma, the tortoise, are carved on the basis of the Durjams.
Sari ga ma ma ga ri ga ma pa da ni sa ni da ni da ni da sa ni da ni sa ni ga ri sa ni re sa ni da ni sa ni da ma ma ga ri sa ni re sa rim dum da na da rim dum da na dim dum da na dim dum da na na
Friends, inside the sanctum, a square chamber stands a marble linga, the phallic symbol of Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Devyo Sajno Bhayo Bhaino and my dear friends, next is the Devi Jagadambi temple, the Parvati Ji's Mandir, we believe. This was built during the early 11th centuries, my dear friends. The Devi Jagadambi temple shares the platform with the Kandariya Mahadev temple. Originally dedicated to Vishnu, the image within the sanctum is one of Parvati as goddess of the world. Its basement moldings, however, are simple and are conspicuous feature of the Chitragupta temple. Friends, the carvings on the outer walls are among the best. They include several of Vishnu, one of the Yama, the god of death, amorous couples, and Surasundaris who are in the postures and expressions of intense absorption, characterizing them as masterpieces of a fully developed Chandela style. It is perhaps the most erotic temple of Khajuraho, my dear friends. This is not the original image but dates to the same period as the temple. It faces east. Friends, we get a very rare opportunity to take the blessings of Ma Parvati, the Jagadamba Mata here, only during the 4 occasions every year. Once during the Chaitra Navaratri, which is in the month of March or April, and during the Durga Puja and Ram Navami, and also during Dashara, my dear friends. So it's my pleasure to show you the complete darshan of Ma Parvati as I visited this temple during these occasions. And Jai Mata Di ki Jai. Since the image is painted in black, the temple is also known as Kali Temple. The image of Vishnu carved so prominently on the Lalitamba or the sanctum doorway that it refers to as if it was a temple originally dedicated to Lord Vishnu. So, next is the Chitragupta temple, and this is the only local temple dedicated to Surya Bhagavan, the sun god, and is situated on the northern side of Jagadambi Mataji Ka temple. And in respect of plan, design, dimensions, and decorative scheme, this temple closely resembles the Jagadambi temple. The temple walls are also carved with some of the finest figures of Surasundaris, erotic couples, and gods, including an 11-headed Vishnu, with the central head of Vishnu and the remaining heads representing the 10 incarnations. This temple is also known as Bharatji's temple. Friends, the exterior walls are full of rich, exquisite carvings. The figures of plinth friezes are that of hunting scenes, elephant fights, processions, dancing girls, etc. etc. image enshrined in the sanctum represents an impressive sculpture of standing Surya driving in the chariot of 7 horses. Three similar but smaller figures of Surya are depicted on the lintel of the ornate doorway. Bham bham bole Bholenath ki jai. Friends, next is the Vishwanatha temple built during AD 1002. Vishwanatha temple is built near the ruined tank called Dhugavan. This temple is dedicated to Shivji in his aspect of Lord of the Universe. According to an inscribed slab, now in this temple porch, King Dhangadeva seems to have built this temple. It anticipates the Kandariya Mahadeva, which marks the culmination of the Chandela style, but is laid out in much the same manner as the Lakshmana temple, which predicts it, introducing subtle variations. In the main shrine, the basement has smaller niches doubled in 2 tiers. Only 2 out of the 4 subsidiary shrines are intact, that is, the northeast and southwest corners. Friends, east of the temple, sharing its raised platform, is an open pavilion housing a large Nandi image. The basement has a frieze of elephants. The pavilion has pyramidal roof of horizontal elements. The high basement on the terrace has fine scroll work, carvings of processions of men and animals, and, of course, amorous couple. The basement niches are carved with the Saptam Mantrikas, 7 mothers, and Ganesha and Virabhadra. Here is a remarkable say that I can talk little about our great Victorian Puritan Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi found the temples deeply distressing and gave his blessings to a band of pious vandals who wanted to chip off the walls of the temples clean from these indecent and embarrassing affronts to their ignorant notions. But Indian culture still remains. Hence, it took the intervention of no less than Rabindranath Tagore, who wrote an appeal letter to Gandhiji explaining that this is a national treasure and could not be disturbed or destroyed because some people were uncomfortable that their ancestors were sexual beings. So this is a attribute of thanks to Rabindranath Tagore. Hence, the sculptures are not disturbed till date, my dear friends. And hence, our eyes are rewarded to see each and every sculpture right from the birth till the death of all actions in our life or the life of any human, my dear friends. Friends, within the temple, the main hall and passageway around the shrine contain some of the loveliest sculptures, including one of the women with a fruit in her hand and a parrot on the other, a mother with a child, amorous couple, of course, a Surasundari playing a flute, and another notable for her charming expressions, painting her foot. The ceiling has elaborate patterns of many flowers and hanging stamens. Om Namah Shivaya, opposite the Shivji Mandir, of course, anyways, will be the Nandi shrine, and this is a detached Nandi pavilion forming an integral part of the architectural scheme of Vishwanath temple. The two temples stand facing each other on a common terrace which is approached by lateral flights of steps, the southern steps being flanked by a pair of elephants and the northern by the pair of lions. The shrine enshrines a powerful colossal image of Nandi, the bull vehicle of Shivji, which faces the main deity of Vishwanath temple. It is an open square pavilion resting of 12 pillars with a shallow two-pillared bay projecting from the middle of each side, the whole enclosed by the low parapet of plain Kakshasana balustrade. Friends, it has a pyramidal roof of residing tiers of pidas with an almost plain circular ceiling of overlapping cores.
Friends, Nenu me host Varaprasad.
Thanks for watching episode 2, and we will cover the balance Western group of temples in the next episode. And I sign off.
Yes, firstly subscribe cheyandi, like cheyandi. And we are in Khajuraho to visit all its tourist places, completely loaded with fun and spiritual values, Hindu culture, Jain culture, around 22 temples. Yes, let's explore. Join me. Come with me. Come.